Hello people, I haven't made a video on here in forever, and no one really watched them anyway, so it's not like anyone missed me. But, maybe my channel will blow up one day, or it might blow up after I'm dead. I might be like Edgar Allan Poe. Think about that shit, even after I'm dead, people will look back at the things I said. Everything he said about single-payer healthcare was correct. How did we not listen to him before when he was alive? Yeah, man, original ideas, I'm the one that came up with the idea that America should have single-payer healthcare, That's what they're going to be thinking in the year 4032. Right now, in 2020, though, everyone's still, for some reason, all the idiots on Fox News and CNN think that it's never going to happen in this country, ever. If you're watching this in 4022, you're thinking, man, that's ridiculous. America got it so long ago, but around this period of time, it still hasn't happened. They still are fighting the inevitable. So, anyway, enough of that shit. Let's talk about the actual discussion in the video. That is, why, can you work for $1 billion, which, the question is meant to be more of a head scratcher than an objective question. You can't objectively prove someone did or didn't work for $1 billion, okay? But I just want you to think of something, alright? This is just food for thought, okay? How many people do you know that work 40 plus hours a week? Okay? Probably a lot. And how many of those people are living at the poverty level? Probably a lot. At least a lot of people I know work 40 plus hours and they are not making enough to barely survive. They're just barely making enough to survive. I know a lot of people that are scared to make more than what they make, because the moment they make more, the government's going to take shit away from them. Which is why I hate when people make dumb arguments like, well, why don't you just get a different job if you don't have good medical care, or this or that and the other thing. And it's like, well, the moment I start doing decent for myself, the government goes, hey, you don't need any of these things, and, you just take care of your kid on your own now. We're not going to assist you anymore. It's not our problem. But, totally digressing. In fact, the whole first 2 minutes and 37 seconds of this video has been me bullshitting and not even talking about the topic. So, let's talk about it, okay? Everyone a lot of people work 40 plus hours, not even making $100,000. Just $100,000. Think about how much that is, right? How many people do you know that earn $100,000, right? Now you could say they probably worked their way all the way up to like a CEO position, or maybe they just started their own business off their own idea, and they earned $100,000. Okay, we get to $1 million. You're doing really well for yourself if you're making a net value of $1 million per year, right? But again, how hard did you work to get that money? Again, you probably invested a lot, reinvested a lot, but are you working, now that you make that much money, are you working 40 plus hours a week? And even if you are, can you really say you're working harder than all these people? Obviously not. Obviously not. And I'm not saying you shouldn't make $1 million a year. I'm just trying to make a point here. Because I want to make $1 million a year one day. I'd love to. I mean, who doesn't want to make $1 million a year? I mean, come on now. Everyone would like to, unless you're completely against capitalism. And that's just, well, that's stupid. And you're talking to a social democrat. That's stupid. Anyway, now we get to $5 million a year, okay? Now, at this point, if we're going off of what I already said, right, already you're, reaching to say you earned $1 million, okay? Now, $5 million, you're just, now you can at least start to say that most of your money is being earned off the backs of other people, if it wasn't already. You didn't earn $5 million per year net value on your, after tax. You all know what net value means, but, on your own, I don't think you made that much by yourself without the backs of other working people helping you get that much money. Now we get to $500 million. And at this point, everything beyond here is just a number. Because really, I couldn't spend $500 million in my lifetime. I don't see how someone can. And that's my problem with these people, is how greedy do you have to be to spend $500 million, let alone in a lifetime? But these people make it a net value per year. And that mind boggles me. Like, I'd feel filthy making that much money, let alone having that much money in a year after tax. That's insane. Now we get to $1 billion. Like, and I said that's just a number, because everything beyond is 600, 700 million, 800 million. I mean, they're just insane numbers that only keep going up. But at that point, beyond 500 million, I mean, even 100 million. Once you make 100 million a year, you tell me you couldn't spend $100 million 10 lifetimes? Whatever, man. But 500 million in a year. God, $1 billion. $1 billion. You know, I mean, what is Mark Cuban doing that, like, me and you aren't? That he has the right to say he earned every penny of that. And that bothers me. It does. Because we have people living in tent cities, full, like, you can look it up on Google. There's full, like, cities of people living in tents, because there's that many. A lot of the homeless people in our country are simply there because we have a mental health crisis that we're not addressing. And a lot of these people, most people homeless, have mental health problems that are undiagnosed or unaddressed or whatever. And while that's going on, someone's over there someone like Mark Cuban is making this much money, having this many, vehicles, houses, cars, whatever, and yet they have the decency to go on someone like Fox Business and explain that the idea of single-payer healthcare is stupid. Yeah, of course it's stupid to some shit. This isn't meant to benefit you. It's meant to benefit everyone else. And for you, well, boo-hoo. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine, Mark. You will be fine. The only difference is everyone else isn't catered to a mafia telling them, you have to pay this much. The mafia that goes in between you and your doctor that comes in and makes you pay a bill. And, says, we're going to cover you for this, but we're not going to cover you for this. My mom, for an example, she got one of her knee surgeries taken care of, and the other one isn't. So she works on a bad knee because apparently the government says, or her health insurance company says, you can live on one knee. What? Whatever, so that's just, it is what it is, so I apologize for, these, people texting my phone, but unfortunately it happened, and I'm not going to change the video, because I'm a lazy fuck, so you're gonna have to deal with those vibrations. But that's the thing, is, my dad, he is another example, right? I mean, subjective, of course. Extremely subjective. My dad died from cancer. Couldn't afford the medicine on his deathbed. Now, it's not a problem now, but I'm just making it as a point of people can't afford their own medicine or their own surgeries or insurance, but there's billionaires saying that if we gave them the means to do this, it would be wrong. And these people who can't afford these medicines, these surgeries, whatever, these people work 40 plus hours, and they're not making nearly pennies compared to dollars on what these they're making pennies compared to $100 compared to what these billionaires make. 0.3% of people own more wealth than the bottom 90% of people. That's insane. 0.3%. That's a handful of people. That's nuts. And that's the reality that we live in. And to say these people all earned the amount of money they had based on hard work. Based on what? What are they doing working harder? What are they doing? They're working harder in what way than everyone else? That's what you gotta differentiate to me, because I don't see it. And again, I'm not saying people shouldn't be able to become rich. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that we need to be serious about these arguments, and we need to be serious about this idea that you earned $1 billion. Like, if you're making that much money, you have to be serious about your condition of financial stability compared to everyone else, which is you're perfectly fine and everyone else is suffering. And it's bullshit that people like you get to go on Fox News and people like us, you know? But, it's just my opinion. I hope everyone has a beautiful day. This was Stretch, and I will see you guys later. Peace.